I've seen enough in 2.5 years of Brock Purdy quarterbacking to think that he's a pretty good player. I also think that he's reached a point where we have to recognize, like Mahomes, who's done it, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, he's done so much more. Like, it's not even close how much more he's done, how much more he's earned. He has earned so much that I don't check his box score. I don't look at his stats. I go, what's he winning? And the answer is big games and championships, right? Mahomes, he's not having a great year. I agree. But guess what? They're 6-0. Like, they don't have their fastball. They're 6-0. So this is what I said last week before the game. Let's just chill on the comparisons. Brock Purdy's his own player on his own team with his own work to do. Neither one of them was great today. They each had chances to make plays. So understand this. I like Brock Purdy. I think he's a top 10 quarterback. And I've said this repeatedly, and every time I say what I'm about to say, I lose people lose their minds. One of the reasons he's special is what he's got between his ears. Okay? And he needs that. One of the reasons he needs it is because he doesn't have an elite arm. And what makes him so amazing is without an elite arm, he still makes elite throws. His anticipation is critical. That's why I thought Ayuk was such a critical signing for them, because Brandon Ayuk's in the right place at the right time. Ronnie Bell not. Picked today. He made some bad decisions. He threw, it's one thing, the Ronnie Bell interception, honestly, whatever. I feel about that one the same way I feel about the Mahomes. It was backbreaking, the Mahomes interception to Deommodore Lenoir. The other 2 picks were not. Now, I know he gets hit, okay? He gets hit on the 3rd pick in the red zone. So it's not so much the interception that bothered. He was about to throw, and even Brady said this. He was about to throw into double coverage in the red zone to Chris Conley. The first pick was crazy. Throwing with some anticipation, a very interceptable ball, never saw the DB, trying to lead Kittle, disaster pick. So each one of those individual picks has their own story to them. But to me, where it really showed up was on the deep ball to Cowing and on the deep ball to Kittle. Both balls forced the receiver to slow down. And both plays were very explosive, but could have been more. And they left something on the table in a game where it turned out they couldn't leave anything on the table. And so that is, if I say flaw, people are going to think it's too strong. If I say deficiency, people are going to say it's too strong. That is part of what makes the other stuff he does really special. You see how I'm saying that in a glass half full way? So people trying to make people hear it without losing their minds. But it showed up today, which is fine. They can still win it. You can win a championship with a quarterback that doesn't have an elite arm and that doesn't hit every home run throw that's available. But you know what they have not had in a long time? What they tried to get with Danny Gray was they can get open the way that Jacob Cowing did today, just with stutter and speed. Go. And he underthrew it. And Cowing still made the play, and it was still explosive, and it was big, and that was awesome. But it was a missed opportunity in a game where there just wasn't enough time. Now, would it have mattered? Maybe Kansas City was going to keep scoring. Was Kittle really going to run away from Reed? And there was another, I don't know if it was a safety or a corner coming over. Maybe they would have tracked Kittle down. I think it's a little self-serving to say that Kittle play would have been a touchdown if he'd hit him in stride instead of a 41-yard play. Maybe. The Cowing play, that's a touchdown if he hits him in stride, and he didn't. And that's just an example of some of the other stuff he has to overcome. If that's the biggest problem today, then no biggie. But it wasn't. The Niners played Steve Spagnuolo in the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, your quarterback and your coach, when your coach is the offensive coordinator, are a unit. They're a family unit. They work together. They are two brains trying to solve one problem. And they didn't solve the problem in critical moments last year in the Super Bowl or this year in the Super Bowl. They got, for the most part, beat by the blitzes and just looked rattled from that offense looked rattled from the jump. And that's both of them. Like if your offense looks rattled from the start, it's the quarterback and the play caller. And it was both things. And Kyle couldn't find enough solutions, and Purdy made some critical errors. This is not, we don't go back to the drawing board and wonder, can he play at all? Against a championship team who they won't see again until the Super Bowl. That's not me saying they're making the Super Bowl. It's twice now against that group. Well, it's more than twice, but Super Bowl and now today. Comment, Purdy is turning into a pumpkin before our eyes. Happy Halloween, everyone. I'm not there with that. But how about the third down throw to Ayuk where he missed him badly and Brady goes, what did he say? He goes, it was a bad throw and even worse protection. I thought it was just a bad throw. But the protection wasn't great. They got a protection issue. They have a protection issue. Marcone says, our O-line is trash, but sure, it's all on Purdy. No one's saying that. Everyone gets so bent out of shape. You criticize Brock Purdy. Not even criticize, just observe. Nick, 10 on the super chat. There is no Super Bowl hope. Kyle has not broken through or fixed his issue. Cap is in a bad spot. Purdy 60 mil. That's too much. You might do a mini rebuild because this is not a Super Bowl team. Are playoffs enough? Are playoffs enough? Well, the short answer to that is yes. Like right now, if I told you this team makes the playoffs, do you want to take that or do you want to roll the dice? I say they make the playoffs, they don't win the Super Bowl. Or they don't even go to the Super Bowl. Do you want to take that or you roll the dice, they're a Super Bowl? You would take that. Like you would get in the dance, find a way. You're going to host an NFC North team probably. And if you win that game, then you're going to Detroit. I did say Detroit was going to beat Minnesota today. It was Minnesota put up a fight. Good effort by Minnesota. Both those teams. Great home fields. But if you can go win this division, you got a shot. Go get a playoff game. All right? Go get a playoff game. But you're asking about more than that. Cap is in a bad spot. Purdy 60 mil. That's too much. I've said I still think that the grand scheme window is still open for this team. Retool just means, rebuild. Like, what does that mean to you? Does that mean trade Debo? I mean, they would trade Debo whether they're potentially trying to win a Super Bowl or not. So there's, I think it's all kind of in the same boat. You're not choosing one or the other. In 2025. Like what? Because you're not trading Christian McCaffrey coming off an injury. You might trade Debo even if you were trying to win a championship. You're not getting it. Like you're not getting a second round pick for Debo Samuel anyway, right? So I think all you can do if you're them is put your head forward and try to make the playoffs this year and try to be a championship team next year. That's all you can do. Start getting younger. I mean, they are. It's drafting, but there's not like a bunch of moves with star players they want. If you're talking about trading star players, then that's the conversation you're having. Other than that, it's basically in the NFL. It's not basketball. It's not baseball where you get rid of all your guys for prospects and then try again because you're not trading established stars for like young emerging stars, right? So it's all kind of basically the same thing, unless you're tanking for a draft pick, which they're not going to do, nor should they. Ayuk's injury was definitely worth a whole offseason of drama. No kidding. Yeah, there's no comment. How are you going to rebuild? You think you get a franchise QB, sign the franchise receiver who may be hurt? What are we selling? There's no rebuild. There's evolve, get these young receivers involved. Like, if I told you at the end of the year, they found a way to get Cowing, they found a way to get Pearsall, you felt good about the defensive coordinator, McCaffrey came back healthy. You know what I mean? Like, find a way to win this division, get to the playoffs, hope that McCaffrey's back and healthy, Jennings is back and healthy. You've worked Cowing and Pearsall in, and maybe you can be a better team then than you are today. Like, that option still exists.